Hello, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home, and I want to talk about surveyors and when you need them and why I don't like to hire them. I don't like to hire a person when the value that they bring doesn't go into the actual build of the home, but sometimes you need them, and I needed one real bad here, and I'm going to explain why, and why you really need, the times when you really need a surveyor. I had a student in California who hired a surveyor, and they charged $7,000 to come out and survey the property. And they didn't include any stakes, like you see right here on the ground, right over here. They didn't include any staking of the property. They just came out and surveyed it and said, yeah, we surveyed it, and here's our letter saying that we surveyed it. But there's no markers on the ground. There's no pins, no nothing. So when you do hire a surveyor and you absolutely need them, be here when they come, because you can actually say, can I get a stake there for my setback? I want to make sure that corner's over there and all that. And you can get it all staked. A lot of times I'll hire a surveyor and they won't stake everything. They won't stake the corners, they won't stake the setbacks, all that, and you've kind of wasted your money. That's why I want to walk through what I had my surveyor do. When I started building the property, up on the corner over there, there's a stake in the ground. It's got kind of an orange wrap around it. And sometimes I don't know if that's a good survey, and I just wanted to double check, mainly because the neighbor's fence is 1.5 feet to the east. So it's gone past the corner mark of their property. And I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to push this wall. We're gonna have a wall right here. And if I go 6 inches, a foot, or whatever, the city is going to call me on it. And if I build it, they're going to make me tear it down. This is the city easement. This is the private property of my clients. I gotta make sure I get that wall right dead center on that line. So I had a surveyor mark it, and luckily we were right on the money with their corner. I have them come down here and mark the property. This is the actual property line. Let me walk you through and why I had to have a surveyor, not only to solve for this problem, but down here, I'll show you. This here is a setback. So I've got a 20-foot setback from the property line. So I had my surveyor put that here so that I know that I'm right on the money. My corner of my house is right within 2-3 feet of that setback, as you were to see it. But the real concern was over here by the pool. We have a pool here, and as we're getting the pool inspected, the city was concerned that the pool was built on their easement, again, which is on the east side here, but it's not. The survey stake over there, you can see there's an orange paint on the rock. Well, the survey came out just about a foot past that. So when I did my measurements, I was a foot shorter. So the surveyor came out and confirmed that we are 6.5 feet inside the property on that pool. And in our particular jurisdiction, you can actually take a pool right up to the property line. But they thought the pool was inside their easement, but it's not. And so we got that clarified, and we're all ready to go. The other concern was I didn't know where the property corner was over there. Let me show you where it's at. We're gonna take a little hike over this way. I didn't know where the property corner was. I'm on a cliff here, so I really wanted to know that. And they put a pin right where the property corner is. Of course, they put a stake here to help identify it. If I didn't have that stake there, I wouldn't see that that's where it's at. I now have a 10-foot setback from here that way. And so we're within the setback. So I was in a tight situation with the city inspector questioning us on the positioning of the pool and all that. I had to get a third party, which is a surveyor, come out and double check all that. It was already checked before we even built, but I wanted to do it again. He came out and said, okay, this is where we are. And he confirmed, put a stake up there by the pool. We are well beyond the setback and the property line of the plot. So that's why you need a surveyor, is when you're in really tight corners. If you're building in the field somewhere and you know that that's the fence line and that's the fence line and you're 150 feet away or even 70 or whatever feet away, and you kind of know that you're within the safeguards of this is really my property and I got tons of buffer room, I wouldn't waste the money on a surveyor. It's nice to know where the corners of the property are, but here's the caveat. If you're going to get a survey and you're going to mark the corners of the property, get the other property owners to go in on that. That way they all agree that, yes, that survey was hired by all of us, and now we agree that that corner is the property corner. But if you just get a surveyor, hire it just yourself, and you come up to a property owner, says, that's the property corner, that's what it is, but they weren't part of that, it gets to be a he said, she said thing. But if they're all part of it, then great. Even if they can't afford it, and you say, would you agree to this surveyor? And I'll pay for it if you agree to that. That way it's on record and everybody understands that that's where the property corner is and that's where the property line is. So it can take a little effort, take a little headache, but I don't like to hire them unless they absolutely need it, or at least maybe I can get some property owners to help cover the cost of that. Because you can spend a lot of money on surveyors and you can waste some money that you don't need to waste. Make sure you absolutely need it, and if you can get other property owners to help, all the better. It's Keith with How to Build Your Own Home.